Center and Scriven, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Parker Insurance and Realty, located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Well, did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, good Christmas.
Well, you went down and visited with your dad and all that good stuff?
Yeah, went down and spent time with Dad. Saw a lot of movies.
A lot of movies. Did you see Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
I did.
Did you like it?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Then why did you go see it?
Because he wanted to see
it. Because Dad wanted to go see it. What Dad wants, Dad gets, right?
Didn't mind. I went to see Concussion.
How was that, Will Smith, Concussion?
It was, it's a true story. I thought it was an excellent movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've seen some interviews with the doctor, the real doctor, and Will Smith and so forth, and it kind of makes you think about the possible health effects and side effects and all that of playing football for a long time.
So they made strides since all his findings, but it's still a very violent game. But a lot of players retiring early because of concussions.
Yeah.
But nowadays, at least if you get a concussion, they put you back in the game. Back in the 70s, they didn't know what a concussion was. People were concussed, and they just
got his bell rung. That's it.
Yeah, they went right back in the game. So, but it's a true story. It starts with Mike Webster, the All-Pro center of Pittsburgh, 4 Super Bowl, but just pretty much all the effects of the collisions just affected his brain, and several players have committed suicide. So I thought it was a good movie.
Well, at least they addressed the issue.
Sure, the NFL doesn't like the movie out, but it'd be interesting what the reaction is from since the movie's finally hit the theaters. There's a lot of build up to it. Sports Illustrated's got a big cover story about the movie and Will Smith. So, well, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it dealt with the Steelers. The 12 Steelers on that 70s team died.
Yeah.
From Terry Long to Mike Webster to Justin Shred, 12 of them, the Steeler team doctors, portrayed in the movie, talking about how he left and how this doctor's findings were accurate. So it's just an interesting story.
Well, at least the NFL knows this happened. They can't hide it or anything. They just need to say, yeah, we know what the problems are. We're addressing that. We've cut out some of the way that the defense hits, and we've the helmets are greatly improved. And so with the rule changes and with the equipment changes, and with also, as you mentioned, that when you get a concussion in a ball game, you don't go back in. And so hopefully that will cut down tremendously on the amount of damage done to the brains of these football players.
What's interesting is 500 players sued the NFL because of this, and
right.
They won that lawsuit, but they don't disclose what the payment is. So
I thought they said it was a few $1 billion, but they're like $1 or $2 billion split up between them. But a lot of folks said that wasn't near enough money. But
the movie says that it was never disclosed.
Never disclosed. Okay.
That's what the.
All right. Well, it has been a problem, and they will continue to address that problem. But I don't know if you've ever done a header in soccer, but you've got a soccer ball that's flying across the field, and you do a header. That is just as much impact, just about, as a hit from a football player, and you have no helmet on. And so they also try to address some of that in soccer, but what do you do? Cut out the headers? I don't know what you do. Do they start wearing some sort of headgear? I don't know. And then, of course, in rugby, that's kind of like football without pads, as much pads. They have some with no helmets. So, each sport out there has some sort of...
Every sport has the issue.
Yeah.
Baseball still has the issue with the line drives coming back to pitchers. The pitchers wear helmets, they don't wear helmets. So we've seen that several times. They still say eventually a player will die from a line drive getting hit in the head. We've seen it several times.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, like I said, every sport has their issues. Football has this issue, but it's just a true story. Something that happened back, like I said, science proved that, all those collisions were having an effect on people's brains, and you see it. Junior Seau's the latest victim of that. So just a true story. That's the bottom line. It's based on a true story, and Will Smith does an excellent job portraying the doctor. He's already been nominated for a Golden Globe, probably going to be nominated for an Oscar.
Okay.
So it's just an interesting movie. If you want to see it, it's out there in theaters now.
I remember when I was back in high school, many moons ago here at Wayne County High School, my English teacher, I believe it was my senior year, can't remember, junior or senior year, and he recommended a book by Jerry Kramer, who was a guard for the Green Bay Packers back during their heyday in the 60s. The book was called Instant Replay, and basically what he did is he kept a daily diary from the time they started summer practice all the way through the football season and all the way to the Super Bowl. And it was a great book. I enjoyed reading it. It was very, very interesting from all aspects, from a sports standpoint, from a human interest standpoint. And he talked a bit in there about a game or so where he just, he couldn't remember much. But back then it was just got your bell rung, get back in there, smell some smelling salt bears, and get back in there, huh? Today you don't do that. And I'm glad that medicine has advanced to that point where they're not putting these guys at risk. And the guys, back then, if you didn't go back in, your teammates kind of looked like you was a wimp. But today, that they don't look at you that way.
The one thing the movie showed I didn't know, like I said, the NFL ignored this doctor's findings for years. But Dave Duros, NFL player rep, before he committed suicide, left a long note stating that the doctor's findings were accurate, and that's why he was taking his life. So they did an autopsy on his brain, the same thing they found with all these other players. So it's documented medicine. And like I said, the NFL is addressing it, but to what extent? Still, like I said, the commissioners don't come out looking good in the movie. I mean, Roger Goodell they don't shed a good light on him in the movie. So be interested to see what he has to say now that the movie's out. I haven't really heard much from the commissioner of the NFL regarding the movie.
Well, we've always heard the cover-up's worse than the actual, I wouldn't say crime, but the incident itself. So they just need to accept those findings and move forward. I think they've hopefully done that, and look out for those players to make sure that they're taken care of.
Watching an interview with Will Smith, that's what I found interesting. They asked him if the NFL had any contact with him, and he said in the movie, well, they said there has been no contact up to the movie. After the movie, the NFL has made no comment.
Well, he's just an actor playing a part, All right, but Concussion, you saw Concussion, you saw Star Wars, which is not only has it been the first film, it was the film that reached the $1 billion sales mark first, quickest of any other movie. It still hasn't opened in the second largest theater cinema number of cinemas in the world, and that's China. They don't open there into January. So, tell them what this movie's going to bring in. Folks who've seen it says it's good. It keeps your interest, and did you see that? It kept your interest from one point to another?
It's action-packed, I guess you got to be in the Star Wars. I'm just not in the Star Wars.
Did you see all the other Star Wars?
I saw the first one, I think.
The first one back in 77.
Yeah, I think I saw the first,
Okay.
I may have seen others, I don't know.
You don't know.
I just know I'm not, you got
to be into it, right? You got to.
I'm just, my dad wanted to see it, so we went to see it.
So you saw Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a horrible movie.
It's supposed to be a good movie, leading things up to the next two movies.
Entertaining, it just wasn't. There's other movies I would rather saw it. I want to see the movie Joy with Robert De Niro. I want to see that. And I want to see that one with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell and Daddy's. That looks funny.
Yeah, that looks funny.
So I'm looking forward. There's still some out there I got to see. So.
What else did you see? Any other ones?
No, that's the only two.
You saw two over the weekend, huh?
I was watching a lot of college ball games.
I didn't watch one single college ball game except for the Southern game. Saw some of it, listened to some of it. It was a close nip and tuck game there to about the middle of the third quarter, and then Georgia Southern just put on the afterburners and just pulled away from Bowling Green.
The Duke-Indiana game was a good game. Went to overtime. Duke won that.
Oh, good. Way to go, Blue Devils.
So I watched most of the bowl games, at least a little bit of them. I said a lot of pro games over the weekend. Just a bad weekend for me is my Steelers laid an egg in Baltimore, so
they did.
They need help to get in, which I don't think they're going to get it.
So what are we looking at right now? Let's go to the AFC. Who are our division leaders right now that definitely get in the playoffs?
Patriots are in the AFC. Cincinnati's in. Denver and Kansas City still up in the air. I don't know. They said Denver plays tonight, so if Denver loses tonight, Kansas City could win the division, and Denver could get out. Pittsburgh get in that way. And
now, is Denver definitely on? They don't know whether they're going to be in or not. Will they ever get the wild card if they don't win the division?
Denver could win. Denver, if they lose the last two games, could be out altogether. So that's the thing with Osweiler. They haven't scored a point in the second half of any game yet, so they could be on their way out. So it'd be interesting to see if they win tonight. They need a win. They get one win, they're in. So But the playoff picture in the AFC, like I said, is the Patriots, who I don't understand why Bill Belichick. I need the Patriots to win that game. They go to overtime, and he decides to kick the ball. What is that?
Do what now?
Belichick and the Jets and the Patriots go to overtime.
Right.
They win the toss.
Mm-hmm.
They elect to kick.
Kick? Are you nuts? You always take the ball.
You always take the ball.
Always take the ball.
Yeah, that's what I say. But they didn't. They kicked to the Jets, and the Jets went down and scored a touchdown. So Tom Brady, the best quarterback in the game, doesn't even get to get on the field at overtime. So, and Belichick after the game says, "Well, that's what we decided to do." Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. I mean, I thought he was supposed to be the Jedi of football.
I think the conspiracy's in. He saw Pittsburgh loss. He didn't want Pittsburgh in the playoffs, so he just decided to.
Always those conspiracy theories.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to
You're
it.
sticking to it, huh, Bob?
Anyway, the division leaders in the AFC, Patriots, they're in the playoffs. Bengals in the playoffs. Houston right now leads the division by 1 game over Indianapolis, but Houston's not guaranteed, so they could still wind up not winning the division. And if they don't win the division, whoever wins the division's in. No one's getting a wild card in that division. And Denver right now has the division lead. Again, Kansas City's 1 game out. Denver loses tonight. They're tied, so if Denver loses the final 2 games, they could be out altogether. Right now, the Jets and Kansas City have the wild card spots. And again, Indianapolis and Pittsburgh on the outside looking in. In the NFC, you've got Washington, division winner, Carolina, division winner, Arizona, division winner, Green Bay and Minnesota currently tied for the division lead, so I'm not sure who has the division lead in the tiebreaker. Seattle, Minnesota have the wild card spots at the moment, but Atlanta still has a shot, but I haven't
Still has an outside shot.
I haven't heard what all has to take place. I have to go home and study
Do a
that.
little research, huh?
See what the Falcons need, but the Falcons won yesterday, which I was glad to see, beat Carolina. Anytime Cam Newton loses, it's good news for me. So
I know you don't like Cam because of what his dad did.
I just don't like Cam at all.
You don't like Cam? You just don't like him as a person?
No, I don't like all his antics, Super Bowl,
I know all that. Acting like Superman when he scores or something like that.
He's not about, he's supposed to be, it's a team game. I can't stand all that individual stuff, so never liked it. So I don't see Tom Brady doing it. I don't see Aaron Rodgers doing it. I don't see Ben Roethlisberger doing it.
Could you see them trying to do that if they were...
Dalton doing it. I don't see any other quarterback doing it. He's the only quarterback that does all that individual garbage. So.
Could you see them trying to do that for Chuck Noll or Vince Lombardi?
Why they let him do it, I don't know.
Act like you scored before and you're going to score again.
Interesting to hear the Falcon players after the game. They didn't have much for Mr. Newton either.
No, they didn't?
He said he was a very sore loser. He said he's very trash talk on the field, so they were pretty much crushing him, which I was glad to see. So,
do you think he's naturally that way, or he's playing up to his fan base there who likes that kind of stuff?
He's always been about himself.
Okay.
He's a scam. I call him scam.
I know, but that was his dad who was responsible for that.
He's involved in it.
I know, but still, we got to go along with what his dad said. I just got a text in here that said that playing at the drive-in is that new Alvin and the Chipmunks movie that you said that you would love. The person who knows you says you'll really like that.
I already saw it. Yeah,
you did see it?
Yeah. I saw it. I had seen that.
Oh, you have seen that?
I saw the drive-in before I left town.
Oh, you did? You went out there drive-in and saw Alvin and the Chipmunks, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? 50-something-year-old man out there watching Alvin and the Chipmunks. I love Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'd like to go see it myself.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. Very entertaining. That's a good-looking T-shirt. Is that from Christmas? Or have you had that?
I've had this.
You've had that one? I haven't seen it in a while. Good-looking Georgia T-shirt there.
But hopefully the Falcon. I need this Falcon. So to make it a Merry Christmas, I need the Steelers. I can't understand why the Steelers laid an egg. I watched that game yesterday. And
it's hard to figure out sometimes. It really is.
Ben Roethlisberger played one of the worst games of the year. Several interceptions. Didn't play. They've been scoring 30 points a game. They had 3 at halftime. So it was a very disappointing day yesterday for Steeler fans. Steeler Nation's not real happy.
So. Lose to Baltimore. That's one of their arch enemies there.
So I have to pray that the Jets lose at Buffalo Sunday.
Right, so Jets of Buffalo need to lose.
I need Rex Ryan to
do it to it, huh?
To win his final game at home.
Okay.
Don't know if that's going to happen.
And you said the Monday night game tonight is?
Denver and Cincinnati. Should be a good game. I said it's a big game for Denver. I said and apparently Peyton Manning's not able to play.
There's something about HGH with him or something like that?
There's a rumor coming out. There's some pharmacists saying they sent when he was going through his back surgery, but he adamantly denies it. So, but A-Rod adamantly denied it too. So, I mean, you hope and pray, but you just don't know.
Well, these athletes out there making millions, they want to get back in. I don't see anything wrong while you're majorly injured of using what you can to overcome it. But the NFL don't like it, so what the NFL don't like, you can't take. Here are the things you cannot put in your body.
But whether that story has any merit or not, I don't know. He's not the only one. They named 4 or 5 NFL players. James Harrison's name came out there, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. If James Harrison, I mean, as big as you look at some of these athletes, and you talk to people who just lift weights on a regular basis.
Right.
They tell you don't get that big by lifting weights.
No.
You got to have some.
You got to have something helping you.
You got to have some enhancement. When you see these people's muscles bulging out of there, then they're on something.
They're on something, other than just lifting weights.
Right. So you can tell by just looking at people.
Okay.
So, but
sort of like Barry Bonds, huh, Bob?
Well, Barry Bonds,
I mean, he's back down to his normal size now.
There's no doubt Barry Bonds, all the evidence is there. But still, the sad thing is he was a Hall of Famer before, he tells, the story is that he got mad that he wasn't getting the notoriety he should have got by his talents because all the notoriety went to McGuire and Sosa for him.
Right, for his long ball.
And he knew they would juice him. So he said, let me show you how juice, and I hit 73, and that's what he did. But before he even dabbled in that.
Yeah, he was a great baseball player before then.
He had Hall of Fame credentials.
Yeah.
So that's the sad thing. But it'll be interesting.
What is your thoughts and opinions on HGH, human growth hormone, to help these players recover from their injuries as quick as possible?
I just don't know enough about it. You listen to people take it, they said it helps them.
I don't see what's wrong with it while they're injured like that. Of course, every football player is injured all year long, so when do you say yes or no?
But it's just like a triathlete who takes it and can go. I mean, it definitely enhances something because, like I said, I kind of think the leadoff batter's name for the Baltimore Orioles, he went one year, hit 55 home runs, and he weighed $120. So, I mean, it definitely helps him, Braun, I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see how, if time heals all wounds, that people, is, like I said, are they going to they keep talking about putting a section in the Hall of Fame where they just put an asterisk on the plaque saying Hall of Famer, but he did use steroids. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard enough from doctors, because you see people that get injured, they're getting, they use steroids to.
Well, steroids I can understand. HGH is a little bit different. I mean, you can go down there to the store and buy it.
Everybody says Tiger was on it. That's how he hit the ball as far as he did. A lot of PGA golfers believe that.
And that's the reason why he's falling apart right now? We've seen that with football players, athletes.
Your body, that's the thing. That's the risk you take.
Tears your body up.
Tears your body up.
Because you're pushing your body more than it naturally would go, and then later on, your body just tears apart, wears out. But it'll be interesting to see what that report comes out on Peyton Manning and whether he's taken anything that's not supposed to be in his body to help recover from this injury.
He's adamantly denying it.
Adamantly denying it. Everybody's adamantly denying it.
No, adamantly denies. That's the sad thing. You don't know who you don't know
who to believe.
You don't know who to believe. You don't know who's taking, who's not taking it. See, that's what the hypocrisy is too. Bonds and Clemens say all these so-called people out there acting like they never took it. How do you just, and that's the sad part. You just don't know anymore.
Right.
Only the individual knows.
Yeah, and their trainer or doctor or something like that.
It's just good to see Barry Bonds back in the major leagues. So they're going to be hitting instructor for the Miami Marlins.
For the Miami Marlins?
And good news, Miami Marlins, Dustin McGowan, Long County, has signed with the Miami Marlins.
Oh, so. Good. Dustin's going to be down there in Miami.
Yeah, talked to Dustin over the holidays, and Dustin signed a contract. He'll be a member of the Miami Marlins pitching staff this year.
Reliever?
The reliever,
okay.
Right. So
I look forward to keeping up with him down there.
Yeah, told him I have to go purchase Miami Marlin hat. So that'll be good.
Yeah, well, Miami Marlins, the Braves play quite a bit, so you'll be able to go up to Atlanta and see them.
Yeah, plus, like I told him, when you go down to see Barry, make sure you give me Barry's autograph.
Get Barry's autograph for him. I'm sure Dustin could do that.
I told Dustin, I said, ask Barry if he wants the biggest Barry Bonds collection ever. I'll sell it to him for his grandkids.
All right.
maybe I'll be able to make money. Like I said, nobody else is buying them.
Yeah, nobody else is buying them.
So maybe Barry will buy them. But I was glad to hear that news that Dustin signed with Miami.
That is good news. That is good news. You're listening to WIFO FM in Jessup, 105.5 FM, and world famous Butch and Bob Show for this Monday morning. If you have any questions or comments or anything at all, just text us. Text us at 912-427-3711, 427-3711. Text, not call, but text. And we'll answer your question, read your comment, whatever the case may be.
It's good to see Grayson over the holidays. Like I said, had a chance to sit down and talk to him about his first year down there, everything going on. He said that the players find out everything through the media just like we do. He said they don't really get told anything. So
yeah, they don't.
He said they had no idea that Rick was going to get fired. And everybody thought, he said the sentiment was among the team was since they won their final 4 or 5 games that he was going to survive, and he was out recruiting and all that stuff. But he said they kind of got caught off guard with that. So
I think what did it in for Rick was the Georgia-Florida game.
Yeah,
it's like he just threw it away, and there were some supporters and stuff out there just said, we can't put up with this.
Yeah, the Georgia-Florida game, they still haven't been able to explain it. Like I said, no one's yet. But no reporter had the guts to ask him. I've yet to see an Atlanta reporter, Athens reporter, sit down and say, Mark Rick, why did you do what you did?
Yeah.
And have him explain it. He hasn't explained it to this day.
Which has surprised me that no reporter had the guts, because he's not known to be a mean interview,
And then after the Kentucky game, when they put Grayson back in there, the obvious question is, why did we put Bob Totten?
A person never thrown him. Yeah, heaven knows, Bob. Heaven knows. But I think a lot of folks just could not get over the fact that it's like he just threw the game away just about.
And most insiders say that's when the decision was made, but the Georgia Southern celebration was the...
Oh, yeah, and like he won the national championship.
They said the president of the university lost his mind in the president's box when that took place, and he said something needs to be done. So,
yeah.
I mean, he said, what are we doing? We barely beat Georgia Southern. We're celebrating like we beat Alabama in the national championship. This is absurd. So that was the final straw. But like I said, the McGarity wanted to fire him the year before. That was the whole story. He got overruled, but this time he had the backing. So, but we wish Rick well in Miami. Grayson said it was good that he was able to come back to the banquet. Like I said, they had that year-end banquet. He was able to come back, so the players did have a chance to,
And that was good.
Right. Because, like I said, all those players he recruited and played, most of them played for him for 4 years. All the seniors got a chance to at least say goodbye.
Right.
That's what the fans are upset about. Fans were hoping he was going to, at first he said he was going to coach the bowl game. So we were hoping he was going to have the Frank Beamer last hurrah. But no such
Frank
thing.
win?
Frank won.
I thought he did. Yeah, good. I'd like to see Beamer. I was watching some of the game, and I said, I hope he goes out with a victory, because he deserves it after all these years at Virginia Tech.
No defense in that game either. I think it was like 55, 52, something like that.
Boy, did lighten up that scoreboard.
That's what the thing. Where's the defense going? Does anybody besides Alabama play defense anymore? NFL, you don't see much defense either. But the Ravens played good defense Sunday, so.
Who did?
Baltimore, yeah. Baltimore played good defense, so.
Yeah.
It pains me to know my Steelers may not make the playoffs.
I know it does, Bob. And if there's any team out there I wanted to see beat Carolina to keep their, make sure they stayed not undefeated for the year, it was the Falcons. I just think it was great that it was the Falcons who did in the Carolina Panthers and made that one loss for them so far. And all the 72 Miami Dolphins sigh relief, saying, all right, we're still the most perfect team ever.
Yeah, they said they popped the champagne yesterday. So
they did?
They always get together when the team, they always have a big celebration, which I don't blame them. 72 Dolphins, still the only undefeated team.
Yep, still perfect, the only perfect team. Now, does that make it an easier decision for the coach for Carolina, saying, all right, in this last couple of games, do I rest some folks?
Yeah, they'll sit everybody probably Sunday, you would think.
Because now you're going for that perfect season. Oh, we don't have it. Now that's an easier decision to keep some people out getting ready for the playoffs.
Rest is always good, like I said, especially in that violent game. I say anytime you can not take that kind of punishment, just sit on the sideline.
Yeah, well, you want them to play maybe the first half or something like that, because you don't want them to lose their sharpness. And, we've seen that before. If you keep folk for too long, it's just, just like Jonathan was talking this morning. He hasn't been on the air in 5 days, and he kind of lost his mind. What's next, Even though you do something, your practice makes perfect. So you at least want to, let them play at least a quarter, full half, whatever the case may be.
I think Arizona's the team to beat in the NFC. They look awfully good.
They do look good.
I haven't figured out who's going to be in the AFC picture yet, but I'm waiting to see if my Steelers get in. Going to write Rex Ryan a nice note. Hopefully get him fired up to win over the Jets Sunday.
You did what now?
So I'm going to write Rex Ryan a nice note, say please win.
All right, we just got a comment in here. I don't know if it's from a doctor or from someone who just knows and read up on this. He said, aside from helmet-to-helmet contact, you can also get a concussion from a hard hit that makes your head whip suddenly. This can cause your brain to twist and move inside the skull. So it's more than just head-to-head. It's the old proverbial whiplash, Bob.
I'm sure it's any hit to the body that makes your head jerk. Now, see, football's just a violent game.
So no matter how you get hit, if that head whips back and forth everywhere, then you can get a concussion because your brain just kind of rattles around there in the brain, or in the head, in the skull.
But it's still the most popular sport in America.
Oh, yeah.
People, you know, and you listen to any player, they've interviewed hundreds. They said, if you know all this, would you still play? Exactly, I'll still play because I provide my family with this living and I make millions of dollars. So
Yeah, where else are you going to go that kind of money?
So they're not stopping the game. So it's just good that they have that technology. Like I said, and that's why they changed the kickoffs. You know, kickoff used to be the violent thing. They changed that. There's hardly any kickoff returns in the NFL now. They don't have tour days anymore in most NFL camps. So they're taking as much precautions as they possibly can. They're doing everything they possibly can for the safety of players. But, bottom line
is risk in it.
The bottom line is
risk getting your car driving down the road.
Bigger, faster, stronger than they were.
Oh, they're a lot bigger and faster and stronger than they used to be in the 60s and 70s. Or maybe 60s. 70s are really starting to get into it.
But it's a good thing, like I said, if they have doctors on the sidelines now, the person comes out and they diagnose a concussion, they don't go back in. So that's the good news. In the old days, they didn't know. They just go back in.
Yeah. Yeah, how many fingers I got up?
I mean, you see.
You got 4?
I mean, you see it every Saturday, every Sunday with players coming to the sidelines. So he's got concussion, so he's not going back in. So they send him to the locker room. I'm curious what kind of questions they ask him to find out. But I'm sure they have the questions. Because there was one guy that said he knew what the questions were before he got there. So he had them memorized. So he could go back.
Don't tell him the questions beforehand, Doc.
So even when he had a concussion, he knew how to get back on the field. So,
all right. Well, any other words of wisdom this morning, Bob? That's it?
That's it.
All right, have a great day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty, located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, across from the Heritage Bank, by B&C Collision Center in Scriven, and by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. It's 8:30. Let's check in the latest news from Fox News Radio.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Many are in misery around Dallas, Texas. Some have nothing left. Others lost loved ones. Ruin Poor is his wife among the 11 killed in Saturday's tornadoes.
I just feel like a part of me died with her.
One of the twisters in the Garland area was a huge EF4.
It was like spears that just pieces of wood and everything just came through, and you could feel the house shake and shimmy.
Her home among the nearly 1,500 damaged or destroyed. Rowlett was hit hard too.
Many of the neighborhoods are closed off, even to homeowners.